Education is not the amount of information that is put into your brain and runs riot there, undigested, all your life. We must have life building, man making, character making, assimilation of ideas. If you have assimilated 5 ideas and made them your life and character, you have more education than anyone who has got by heart a whole library. A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. These words by Swami Vivekananda bring to fore the importance of gaining knowledge and wisdom in order to make life meaningful. Indian civilization is one of the oldest civilizations that has accorded immense importance to knowledge. We have to our credit a vast body of intellectual texts, the world's largest collection of manuscripts, and intellectual thinkers who have added to various domains of life. Dear assembled guests, the Child Education Society's initiative, the Vidya Utsav, is in its 2nd year and is a dedicated step towards acknowledging the amalgamation of wisdom and education. With 79 commendable years of serving the country, CES has been instrumental in preserving the heritage, tradition, and ethos of our homeland. Presently, 26 Bal Bharati public schools under the aegis of Child Education Society are counted among the leading educational institutions of India.
विद्या उत्सव अर्थात ज्ञान के पर्व की यह अनूठी द्वितीय वर्षगांठ एक बार पुनः शिक्षा के उस कल्पतरु को पुष्पित व पल्लवित करने हेतु आयोजित हुई है, जिसके संरक्षक व संवर्धक के रूप में चाइल्ड एजुकेशन सोसाइटी सदैव अग्रणी रही है। सोसाइटी की अध्यक्षता में संचालित प्रत्येक बाल भारती परिवार सूत्रधार है ज्ञान परंपरा के विकास का तथा प्रतिबद्ध है शैक्षणिक चुनौतियों के निकास का। जी हाँ, वर्ष 1944 में गुणीजनों के सानिध्य में जिस नन्हे से बीज का वृक्षारोपण किया गया था, आज उसी की छत्रछाया में संपूर्ण भारत में हमारे अनेकों विद्यार्थी नई शैक्षणिक कीर्तिमान स्थापित भी कर रहे हैं। लक्ष्य तक पहुँचे बिना पथ में पथिक विश्राम कैसा, लक्ष्य प्रेरित बाण हैं हम, ठहरने का काम कैसा। मंजिल भले हो दूर दुर्गम, मार्ग भी हम जानते हैं, किंतु पथ के कंटकों को हम सुमन ही मानते हैं। जब प्रगति का नाम जीवन, तो अकाल विराम कैसा, लक्ष्य तक पहुँचे बिना पथ में पथिक विश्राम कैसा, लक्ष्य प्रेरित बाण हैं हम, ठहरने का काम कैसा।
As we move towards the evening filled with intellectual aura, I take this opportunity to welcome the dignitaries who have graced today's occasion with their kind presence. We extend a warm welcome to Mr. Nikhil Channa, President, Child Education Society. Mr. Channa's unmatched vision and leadership has strengthened the 26 Bal Bharati schools that operate under the aegis of the Child Education Society. May I request Joint Secretary, Child Education Society, Mr. L.V. Sehgal, to honor Mr. Nikhil Channa. We welcome you, sir. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nikhil Chandna. It is our honor to welcome amidst us Mr. R.K. Gupta, Secretary, Child Education Society. Ladies and gentlemen, we have among us Mr. L.V. Sehgal, Joint Secretary, Child Education Society, a leader who inspires beyond measure. I request Ms. Meenu Goswami, Chairman, School Advisory Council, and Principal Balbharti Pitampura, to extend a warm welcome. We welcome you, sir. On behalf of the Child Education Society, we extend a warm welcome to the heads of institutions and this August gathering. Lighting of the ceremonial lamp is a ritual that invokes all that is positive around us. Before we commence with the floral program, may I invite on stage Mr. Nikhil Chandna, President, Child Education Society, Mr. L.V. Sehgal, Joint Secretary, CES, escorted by Ms. Meenu Goswami, Chairman, School Advisory Council, and Principal Balbharti Pitampura, to light the ceremonial lamp.
Shubham karoti kalyanam, arogyam dhan sampada, शत्रु बुद्धि विनाशायः दीपो ज्योति नमोस्तुते.
Thank you, dignitaries. The Indian knowledge systems are a blend of wisdom and actions. These knowledge systems cannot be practiced in isolation. Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have with us Mr. R.K. Gupta, Secretary, Child Education Society. Sir has taken time out to visit us all today and we are honored. I request Ms. Meenu Goswami, Chairman School Advisory Council, and Principal Balbharti Pitampura to extend the warmest welcome to Mr. R.K. Gupta. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gupta receives his honors. We welcome you, sir. The Indian knowledge systems are a blend of wisdom and actions. These knowledge systems cannot be practiced in isolation. We take a lot from our staunch Vedas, Upanishads, and Itihasas. As a prominent part of our cultural practice, no proceeding is complete without rendering prayers to Lord Ganesha, the Lord of beginning. Lord Ganesha is known as the Vighnharta, the remover of obstacles. He himself represents both Gyan Shakti and Karma Shakti. So when we worship Lord Ganesha, the wisdom within us is kindled, and we steadily forge ahead to accomplish our dreams.
वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि संप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुर्मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। तो बात यदि हाथ को जीत में बदलने की हो या विघ्न बाधाओं पर विजय पाने की, ऐसे में विघ्न विनाशक एक दंत गणाधिपति गणपति जी का वंदन शुभकर्ता व मंगलकारी जान पड़ता है। गणाध्यक्ष पार्वती नंदन हमें यश, कीर्ति और ऐश्वर्य का वरदान देते हैं। भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा के अनुसार भी इनकी स्तुति में सभी श्लोकों का सामंजस्य, ज्ञान, समृद्धि और आध्यात्मिकता का प्रतिनिधित्व परिलक्षित होता है। हे दुखकर्ता, मंगलकर्ता, हे सिद्धि विनायक लंबोदर, कष्ट निवारो, हे परम पूज्य, खुशियों से भर दो सब घर। अतः प्रस्तुत है आप सभी के समक्ष बाल भारती विद्यालयों के हुनरमंद छात्रों की नृत्य में प्रस्तुति महागणपति, जो रिद्धि सिद्धि के स्वामी गजानन की अनुकंपा को एक बार पुनः जीवंत कर देती है।
తరిగిటతో కత్తిగం దృగుతక తరిగిటతో కత్తి వక్రతుండాయ కత్తి లంబోదరాయ కత్తి గణపతి దృగుతత్ కత్తి విఘ్న వినాయక తక్కత్తి తక్కత్తి కత్తి కిటతక తరిగిటతో తరిగిటతో గం తక్కత్తి తక్కత్తి కత్తి తాంగిటతక తరిగిటతో తరిగిటతో గం తక్కత్తి తక్కత్తి కత్తి తా కిటతక తరిగిటతో తరిగిటతో క్షణు తాంగ్ ధిమి తాంగ్ ఝుం ఝుం తా ధి తాంగ్ ఝ న తాంగ్ ఝ ను తాంగ్ ధి మీ తాంగ్ ఝుం ఝుం గిడతక తరిగిడతం ఝుం ఝుం గిడతక తరిగిడతం గిడతక తరిగిడతం ఝుం ఝుం గిడతక తరిగిడతం గిడతక తరిగిడతం గిడతక తరిగిడతం
What a spellbinding and spectacular dance performance that was. Dear assembled guests, it is a privilege to be joined by our keynote speaker, Devdutt Patnaik. We welcome you. A famous quote states that there are three essentials to leadership: humility, clarity, and courage. Ladies and gentlemen, now it is time to welcome on stage a stalwart who demonstrates all these qualities. The President, Child Education Society, Mr. Nikhil Channa, continues to spearhead the working of all Bal Bharti units with his futuristic vision. Mr. Channa's exemplary leadership has carved strong footprints for others to follow. I take this opportunity to invite on stage Mr. Nikhil Channa, President, Child Education Society, to present his welcome address.
Well, we just witnessed the exhilarating display of the Mahaganpati by our talented students, and what a treat it was. And I'm sure you all agree with that. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my proud privilege to welcome Devdutt Patnaik, renowned mythologist, speaker, illustrator, and author, whose sublime and deep knowledge offers us glimpses into worlds both ancient and eternal. I also accord a hearty welcome to the founder members of Child Education Society, members of the Board of Management, advisors, our distinguished guests from the education fraternity, principals and staff of Bal Bharti Schools Pan-India, and all other dignitaries present here. Our founders have striven tirelessly to redefine the landscape of education since inception in the year 1944. Our commitment to providing quality holistic education infused with avant-garde infrastructure and digital innovation remains steadfast even today. Today, Bal Bharti schools stand as bastions of traditional values with echoes of our age-old prudence resonating in each campus. A sense of pride overwhelms my heart to witness more than 36,000 Bal Bhartians scripting success stories and emerging triumphant in diverse domains. In a world ablaze with innovation, progress, and constant transition, it is imperative that we reflect and honor the timeless wisdom bestowed upon us by our forefathers. Today, as we navigate the hallowed portals of Indian knowledge systems, an opulent repository of philosophy, arts, science, and spirituality, it is my earnest hope that we emerge not just as scholars, but as enlightened individuals, empowered with life skills to shape our own and the destiny of generations to come. As the CES enters its 80th year of existence, it is important to reflect on a very important question in its onward journey. Namely, what is the relevance of Indian knowledge systems in the education of today? India, with its rich cultural heritage and ancient traditions, has a profound reservoir of knowledge systems that have evolved over centuries. These systems encompassed diverse fields such as philosophy, science, mathematics, medicine, and the arts, offering a holistic approach that goes beyond mere academic pursuits. Incorporating these traditional wisdoms into modern education provides a more comprehensive and balanced learning experience. The roots of Indian knowledge systems can be traced back to ancient texts like the Vedas, Upanishads, and other sacred scriptures. These texts not only delved into spiritual and philosophical realms, but also laid the foundations for subjects like astronomy, mathematics, and medicine. The ancient universities of Takshashila and Nalanda were centers of learning that attracted scholars from around the world, emphasizing the depth and importance of Indian knowledge in the world. The CES, through its 26 Balbharti schools pan-India, imbibed these Indian knowledge systems through some examples as I can share here. Indian philosophy, with its emphasis of dharma, that is moral and ethical duties, karma, that is action, and moksha, that is liberation, provides a strong foundation for character building and ethical conduct. By incorporating these principles into the education system, we instill values such as empathy, compassion, and a sense of responsibility, fostering well-rounded individuals who contribute positively to society. The contributions of ancient Indian scholars to science and mathematics are noteworthy. Concepts like zero, decimal system, algebra, and trigonometry originated in ancient India, influencing global scientific thought. By integrating these historical contributions into the modern curriculum, we offer students a broad perspective on the evolution of scientific ideas and encourage critical thinking. Indian knowledge systems include traditional medicine practices like Ayurveda, which focuses on holistic well-being by balancing the mind, body, and spirit. Incorporating principles of Ayurveda and yoga into health education can promote preventive health care, mindfulness, and an understanding of the interconnectedness of various aspects of life which we aim to foster. Indian knowledge systems are also deeply intertwined with the arts, including classical music, dance, and literature. By integrating these cultural elements into the curriculum, we nurture creativity, aesthetic appreciation, and a sense of cultural identity among students. It also helps foster a well-rounded education that goes beyond formal curriculum learning. While acknowledging the relevance of Indian knowledge systems, it is essential to address the challenges in their integration into the modern education system. Adapting ancient wisdom to contemporary teaching methods, ensuring inclusivity, and maintaining a balance with global perspectives are critical considerations which we analyze minutely and implement effectively. In conclusion, I can say that the incorporation of Indian knowledge systems into modern education at Balbharti schools contributes significantly to creating well-rounded individuals with a deep understanding of their cultural heritage, ethical values, and a holistic approach to life. Recognizing and embracing the wisdom of the past can pave the way for a more comprehensive and inclusive education system, preparing students to meet the challenges of the future and enrich perspective. I now hand over the stage to our keynote speaker, Devdutt Patnaik, who will be enlightening us further on celebrating and imbibing Indian knowledge systems. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Devdutt Patnaik.
Good afternoon. It's an honor and privilege to have amongst us Devdutt Patnaik, celebrated Indian mythologist, author, thinker, and speaker. Devdutt Patnaik, though an MBBS doctor, has over the last decade been totally immersed in exploring mythology and sharing his wisdom with the world. Having authored more than 50 books and over 1,000 articles on the relevance of mythology and ancient knowledge system in modern times, especially in areas of management, governance, education, and leadership, he is an authority in this domain. As a regular columnist, he writes for reputed newspapers like the Times of India and the Dainik Bhaskar, and is known for his TED Talks and his shows on television. His television series, Dev Lok with Devdutt Patnaik, was immensely popular as he beautifully connected ancient mythological stories with contemporary life. From the concept of the Holy Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, to the different avatars of Goddess Durga, each episode was engaging and addictive, making mythology relevant even today. The theme this afternoon is celebrating and imbibing Indian knowledge system. Times have changed, but the core teachings of the ancient Indian wisdom have a strong relevance in the present scenario. The Indian knowledge system has evolved over thousands of years and is characterized by its rich history, diversity, and multidimensional nature. Rooted in India's rich cultural and philosophical traditions, it provides a foundational ethos that resonates with the goals of the National Education Policy and National Curriculum Framework. The frameworks advocate a harmonious blend of age-old wisdom with modern educational needs, recognizing that the key to navigating the complexities of the present lies in understanding of the past, emphasizing upon a holistic approach to education, incorporating cognitive, social, emotional, and ethical dimensions, provides a comprehensive understanding of life, thereby preparing our children for real-world challenges. By delving into the vast ocean of Indian knowledge system, we can uncover timeless principles of balance, harmony, and the pursuit of higher consciousness that continue to resonate in today's fast-paced world, providing valuable lessons to thrive in the ever-evolving landscape of the 21st century. In this era of rapid change, the growth of the Indian knowledge system is not measured just in degrees conferred, but in the empowerment of minds that possess the capacity to think critically, innovate boldly, and contribute meaningfully to the collective knowledge of humanity. Over the years, the horizons of education have stretched beyond imagination and are ever expanding. Today, with technology transformations, growing globalization, and excessive materialism, we often find ourselves at crossroads. This afternoon, based on the timeless wisdom through the ages, Devdutt Patnaik will steer us towards a path we must tread as he lends his thoughts on today's theme, celebrating and imbibing Indian knowledge systems. May I welcome Devdutt Patnaik, and the stage is all yours. Thank you.
I'll speak from here. Namaste. My name is Devdutt Patnaik. So I'll be talking on Indian knowledge systems and try to sort of explain what I understand by Indian knowledge systems. But before that, I always like to begin my sessions by explaining mythology. Because ये शब्द जब मैं इस्तेमाल करता हूँ तो कुछ लोगों को बहुत तकलीफ होती है. And even today, like for the last 20 years, I have been trying to explain this meaning of this word, but people will keep saying, "Sir, ये history है या mythology है?" तो ये सनातन question है, वो कभी नहीं जाएगा. And people will keep asking me that, but I want to explain it to you since you all are educators, you all are teachers, and you have to explain it to students. So let me explain it in a very simple way. When somebody says mythology, it means somebody's truth, कुछ लोगों का सच. This is very different from fact. Fact is everybody's truth. Fiction is nobody's truth. Myth is somebody's truth. Simple? Now let me explain the significance of this. If somebody says, I believe in God, वो उसका सच है. It's his truth. You may be an atheist, but you have to respect the other person's truth. And that is myth. That is mythology. When somebody says, I believe in rebirth, मुझे पुनर्जन्म में विश्वास है, मुझे आत्मा में विश्वास है, it is their truth. So this room has over 200-300 people. Each one of you has your own truth based on your experience, based on your knowledge, based on everything that you have gone through in life. That is your truth. And you have to hold on to that truth. And when I talk to you, I must respect your truth. I must approach your truth in the spirit of curiosity. That, and not in a spirit of combat. कि मुझे सच पता है और आप जो बोल रहे हो वो झूठ है. Which is what happens when people use words like fact and fiction, truth and falsehood, सच और झूठ. This world of truth and falsehood, right and wrong, fact and fiction, this binary which exists is a very violent binary which we have inherited. बहुत ही violence है, इसमें हिंसा है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे विवाद होता है. I am right, you are wrong. And so when I talk to people, I keep hearing them, nahi, we want to debate with you. And I realize they don't want to have a dialogue. They don't want to have a discussion. They want to have a debate. क्योंकि उन्हें किसी को पराजय करना है. और जब हम पराजय करते हैं लोगों को, तो हमारे अहंकार को आहुति मिलती है. And we feel good about ourselves. We feel powerful and heroic. And we are creating a culture of violence which celebrates debate, argument constantly, without realizing the purpose of debate was not to win. The purpose of debate was to understand. समझने के लिए, जीतने के लिए नहीं. So nowadays I see young people don't listen to people. They are focusing on how to reply, retort and win. They don't listen anymore. This is what happens because you go to MBA colleges and they have group discussions and you realize nobody is listening to anybody. They're all shouting and presenting their point of view. And you realize वो किसी की बात नहीं सुन रहे हैं because they have been told आपको जीतना है और जीतने के लिए दूसरों को पराजित करना है. So विवाद वाली दुनिया को हमने खड़ा कर दिया है, which is about truth and falsehood. But the moment you talk about mythology, you say somebody's truth. फिर आप विवाद के दुनिया से संवाद की तरफ आते हो. Dialogue, discussion. You start listening to people. And you respect people for their point of view. कि वो आ कहाँ से रहे हैं? How do they see the world? How do they imagine the world? Somebody believes in God, somebody doesn't believe in God, somebody believes in rebirth, somebody believes in many gods, somebody believes in science, somebody believes in justice. Abhi, justice is not a fact, it's a belief. विश्वास वाला सच, न्याय विश्वास वाला सच है, यथार्थ नहीं है. Equality is not everybody's truth, it is somebody's truth. It's myth, it's a belief. Human rights is a new idea. 200 साल पहले nobody knew about this word human rights. ये एक नया concept है. It is a new thought. एक नया विचार है. It's somebody's truth. It is not everybody's truth. The moment you appreciate the idea of somebody's truth, you will also appreciate the word Indian knowledge systems. क्योंकि knowledge technically should be universal, ना everybody's truth. सरस्वती सबकी है. सडनली भारतीय सरस्वती कहां से आ गई? इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम इज भारतीय सरस्वती. So Chinese knowledge system would be Chinese Saraswati. Western knowledge system would be पाश्चात्य सरस्वती. यानी कि अब ने हमें सरस्वती को अलग अलग रूप दे दिया है. बिचारी सरस्वती. We have decided, we have claimed her. ये मेरा है, ये सबका नहीं है. ये मेरा है क्योंकि ये मेरा सच है, ये सबका सच नहीं है. So now you start understanding how Indian thought emerges. That's why mythology enables you to understand the realm of subjectivity, not objectivity. हम जब पढ़ते हैं, we are always taught be objective. Be objective. But the world of mythology is the world of subjectivity, व्यक्तिगत सच, cultural truths, सामाजिक सच, सांस्कृतिक सच, विश्वास वाला सच, not विज्ञान वाला सच. And this is very important to understand, that human subjectivity, cultural truth, मेरा सच अलग है, मेरे परिवार का सच अलग है, मेरे कौम का सच अलग है. हमारे यहां ऐसे बोलते हैं हम लोग. ये डायलॉग इज मोस्ट फेमस इन द सीरियल कॉल्ड सास भी कभी बहू थी. Because she says, this is my way of thinking. ये मेरा रसोई घर है, हमारे यहां हम ऐसे करते हैं. ये परम सत्य नहीं है, मेरा सच है. And so Adi Shankaracharya used this beautiful line. What did he say? He said, Jagat mithya, Brahma satyam. Everybody has limited truth. Only the divine knows everything. हमारे पास खंडित सत्य है. We all know little bit things. By the way, please don't confuse the word mythology with mithya. Mithya is a Sanskrit word. Mythology is based on Greek words mythos and logos. Many people confuse the two. So do not confuse the two. Mithya is limited truth. It doesn't mean false. कुछ झूठ नहीं होता. Limited truth, खंडित सच है. जो अखंडित सच होता है उसे हम सत्य कहते हैं. मिथ्या का मतलब है खंडित सत्य, सत्य का मतलब है अखंडित. That's all. Nobody tells a lie. Everybody tells the truth from their point of view. But when you have everyone's point of view, you will reach divinity. So this is how Indian thought functions. So Jains would use the word anekantvad. अलग अलग लोगों के अलग अलग विचार होते हैं. So we have to pay attention to each one's point of view. हिंसा में हम कहेंगे कि केवल एक मत, मेरा मत सही मत है. बट अहिंसा में हम सबकी बात सुनते हैं. सो दिस इज द फाउंडेशन ऑफ माई टॉक. आई वॉन्ट यू टू अप्रोच एंड लिसन विथ अ स्पिरिट ऑफ क्यूरियोसिटी, नॉट फ्रॉम अ स्पिरिट ऑफ कॉम्बैट. सो लिसन सेइंग दैट अच्छा आई वांट टू लिसन टू दिस न्यू वर्ल्ड. एक नई दुनिया में मैं जा रहा हूं. नॉट दैट कि ये सही बोल रहे हैं, गलत बोल रहे हैं. एंड हाउ डू यू फाइंड दिस आउट? यू ऑब्जर्व इफ पीपल स्टार्ट यूजिंग द वर्ड अग्री, डिसअग्री in conversation. When people keep using the word I agree with you, I disagree with you, you have to ask them, sir, who made you judge? मैंने आपका approval seek. I have not sought your approval, but you have positioned yourself as a judge. I am just sharing my ideas. आप सुनिए मेरी बात. जो अच्छा लगा, then discuss, we'll discuss it, and then at the end of this conversation, maybe my truth will expand and your truth will also expand. इसमें कोई पराजित नहीं होगा. हम दोनों जब घर जाएंगे कुछ नया सीख के जाएंगे. When we enter the room, we come with some truth. When we leave the room, we have an expanded truth. So that's a very different approach. So not विवाद वाली दुनिया, but संवाद वाली दुनिया. And that is the world I come from. Mythology is about samvad. And therefore, when I approach Indian knowledge systems, my first question for me is, how is Indian knowledge system different from Chinese or Western? So to the west of India is the Western, to the east of India is what we call Chinese. उनकी भी सोच अलग है. They are also great civilizations. West is great civilization. There's Middle East, there's Europe, there's America. वहां पे भी विचार आए हैं. हर जगह में अलग अलग विचार हैं. ऐसी क्या बात है भारत में that we have decided to say it is Indian knowledge? Is it only because it originated in India? Is it only a geographical truth? और यहाँ पे कोई approach different है. And I believe there is a slight difference in approach. And I want you to introduce this through a very simple story. And you can do this Google search, not now, but after you go home. So do a Google search of Chandogya Upanishad, Narad Sanatan Samvad. So Chandogya Upanishad was written 2600 years ago, probably before the Buddha. In that, there is a conversation between Narad and the Sanata Kumars. The Sanata Kumars are 4 young boys. They are always boys. They never grow old. And there's Narad Muni who travels around the world. और उनके बीच में संवाद हो रहा है. तो ये जो Sanata Kumar है, they ask Narad कि tell us what have you studied? आप क्या पढ़े हो? What is, and this is the first time you get the list of India's knowledge system syllabus. So if you want to do that, you can Google it and you will find the first time Narad tells you the syllabus. कि मैंने ये पढ़ा है, ये पढ़ा है, ये पढ़ा है, ये पढ़ा है, मैंने वेद पढ़ा है, वेदंग पढ़ा है, उपवेद पढ़ा है, ये पढ़ा है, मुझे, I know about mathematics, I know about geometry, I know about foretelling, पूरा एक लिस्ट है, एक लंबा लिस्ट है यहाँ पे. And Sanata Kumar sunte hain. It's a very, very long list of subjects. So the first time you get a list of the Indian knowledge system is in the Chandogya Upanishad, in the conversation between Sanata Kumar and Narad. So 2600 years ago, syllabus, pehla Indian syllabus wahan milta hai. But then Sanata Kumar say, we are not impressed. आपने केवल कैटलॉग बताया है. आपने केवल सब्जेक्ट का लिस्ट बताया है. आपको ब्रह्म विद्या नहीं है. अगर ब्रह्म विद्या नहीं है तो ये नॉलेज यूजलेस है. एंड इट साउंड्स वेरी स्ट्रेंज. ये मेरे को, इफ आई वांट टू इंप्रेस यू, आई विल यूज वर्ड्स लाइक ब्रह्म विद्या. किसी को समझ में नहीं आता है, सब लोग बोलते बहुत प्रोफाउंड है. सो लेट अस मेक इट सिंपल. आई वांट टू मेक इट सिंपल फॉर यू. इट्स नॉट वेरी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड. Right? It's a very simple idea कि जब हम बोलते हैं ना आत्मज्ञान, ब्रह्म विद्या, and this is really the secret of Indian thought. And it's a very simple idea if you understand it and open yourself to it. And I want to take you to something very interesting which happened a few weeks ago in India. So a temple was inaugurated and everywhere on Twitter and on social media people kept saying, प्राण प्रतिष्ठा होने वाला है. And everybody kept talking about it. And I realized everybody is using this word doesn't understand what it is. तो मैंने 10 लोगों से पूछा से प्राण प्रतिष्ठा होता क्या है बताइए. कुछ तो होता है, ऐसा रिचुअल होता है. ऐसे होता क्या है बताओ तो. So then I decided to make a video on it and I realized that people, हम शब्द इस्तेमाल करते हैं. And that is what Sanata Kumar is telling Narad कि देखो memorize करना बहुत आसान है. You can memorize the Bhagavad Gita के 700 verses. Doesn't mean you have become Krishna. 700 पूरी चैप्टर, एवरी टीचर नोज, नो स्टूडेंट कैन मेमोराइज मैथमेटिक आंसर्स, लेकिन उसको सॉल्व करना नहीं आता. लेकिन इतना अच्छा बाय हार्ट करेगा, इतना अच्छा रिप्रोड्यूस करेगा कि एग्जाम में उसको 100 आउट ऑफ 100 मिलेगा. लेकिन ओनली द टीचर नोज कि बच्चे को समझ नहीं है. And that is what Sanata Kumar is telling Narad कि Narad, remembering and knowing so much is not enough. Do you understand it? And to understand a subject, you need Brahma Vidya. But what does it mean? Again, I'm again using these big, profound words and I hate them. I want to make it simple. So, prana pratishtha का मतलब क्या है? What happens? What is prana pratishtha? एक मूर्ति होती है, हर घर में मूर्तियां होती है. लेकिन मूर्ति को जब आप प्राण प्रतिष्ठा करते हो, वो सजीव हो जाता है. It becomes alive. And Hindus and Indians, many Hindus believe कि जब मूर्ति सजीव हो जाती है तो वहां पे देवता प्रवेश कर चुके हैं. What does this mean again? Now this sounds again very profound. You have to ask yourself a very foundational question. What is the difference between an object and an organism? अजीव और जीव के बीच में फर्क क्या है? A non-living thing and a living object के living organism के बीच में difference क्या है? And when you ask this question And if you want to ask this scientifically, the question is, what is the difference between physics and chemistry and biology? Because biology is the study of living organisms. So if I don't want to use Sanskrit words and impress people, I will just ask, physics, chemistry और biology में फर्क क्या है? And then people give me all kinds of strange answers. But it's a very simple thing. A living organism is hungry. उसको भूख लगता है. All living organisms are hungry. इसलिए जब प्राण प्रतिष्ठा होता है, उसके बाद जो मंदिर में सजीव देवता होता है, उसे भूख लगती है. इसलिए जब हम मंदिर में जाते हैं, हम खाना लेके जाते हैं और उन्हें नैवेद्य भोग चढ़ाते हैं. बिकॉज अभी देवता को रोज भूख लगती है. सुबह खाना, दोपहर को खाना, रात को खाना. यू हैव टू फीड द गॉड द होल डे. बिकॉज अभी प्राण आ गया है. इट इज अलाइव. द मोमेंट इट इज अलाइव, द इंडिकेटर ऑफ लाइफ इज हंगर. इन साइंस वी डोंट यूज द वर्ड हंगर, वी यूज द वर्ड मेटाबॉलिज्म. नाउ इट साउंड साइंटिफिक. संस्कृत में उसे प्राण प्रतिष्ठा बोलते हैं, इंग्लिश में उसको मेटाबॉलिज्म बोलते हैं. There is a metabolic activity for which you need food. भूख लगती है, इसलिए मुझे भोग चाहिए. जब प्राण प्रतिष्ठा होता है तो उस पत्थर की जो मूर्ति है उसके अंदर हमने प्राण डाला है, उसे भूख लगेगी, उसे भोग चढ़ाना पड़ेगा. इसलिए मंदिर में रोज भोग चढ़ता है. वो खाएंगे, वो सोएंगे, then he gets bored, you have to entertain him. So मंदिर में you have नाच गाना, उत्सव, you have boat rides, you have chariot rides, because जैसे हमको भी, हम भी जीवित हैं ना, हमको हॉलीडेज चाहिए, हमको ड्राइव चाहिए. In Delhi, what is the word they use? गेडी, no? So जगन्नाथ ऑफ पुरी विल से मुझे रथ यात्रा में जाना है, मुझे थोड़ा घूमना है, चंदन यात्रा में जाना है, बोट राइड लेना है, मूनलाइट नाइट में, मुझे झूले में बैठना है, हिंडोला. बिकॉज अभी प्राण तो दे दिया, शरीर आ गया, शरीर को भूख लगता है. केवल खाने का भूख नहीं, इंद्रियों का भी भूख लगता है. श्रृंगार चाहिए मुझे, माधुर्य चाहिए मुझे, संगीत चाहिए मुझे, नृत्य चाहिए. सो सडनली मंदिर में यू सी ऑल दीज एक्टिविटीज हैपनिंग बिकॉज प्राण आ गया है वहां पे. So what does it mean in practical educational terms? It means that when you observe, physics and chemistry deal with inanimate things. They do not discuss hunger. भूख की बात नहीं करते हैं. That is why engineering students don't understand hunger. They talk about objects, physics, chemistry, momentum, velocity, reaction, chemical reaction, energy. But hunger, bhook. Now look at these two words, and I'll repeat this again and again. Hunger and food. Hunger, bhook jo hai, can you measure hunger? You can't measure hunger. You can only measure food. भूख को आप measure कर सकते हो, ये सगुण है. सॉरी, भोग को आप measure कर सकते हो, वो सगुण है. जो भूख है, your hunger, I can't measure your hunger, वो निर्गुण है. So bhook, food, is to be measured. I measure food. Now, look at a tree. Let's do botany class. I look at a tree. हम लोग leaves and roots के बारे में पढ़ते हैं. Let us ask the child the question, beta, why does the plant have leaves? It has leaves because it is hungry. It is looking for sunlight. Why does it have roots? It is hungry. It is looking for water. इसलिए उसके पास लीफ है, not because God said you should have leaves. No, उसको, it is hungry. So it is hungry, therefore it has leaves. It is hungry, thirsty, therefore it has roots. It also has thorns. Why does it have thorns? You can see the thorn. Because it is insecure. उसको डर लगता है, कोई उसे खा जाएगा. उसे खाना है, he wants to eat food, but he is also insecure. Nervous, scared. इसलिए पेड़ों के पास कांटे होते हैं, bark होता है. So suddenly you realize a living organism is not only hungry, it is also insecure. For hunger it needs food, for insecurity it needs security. So now I can measure food. I can measure how much sunlight it needs. I can measure how much water it needs. उसको कितना खाद चाहिए. I can measure उसके कितने thorns हैं, how much security it needs. But I also know that the plant is aware that one day it is going to die. How do I know this? Because it produces flowers and fruits. A plant doesn't want you to eat it. मुझे मत खाना, because it's a living organism. No living organism likes to be eaten. So it has thorns, it has bark कि मुझे मत खाओ. लेकिन वो खुद खाना खिलाती है in the form of leaves and in the form of fruits and flowers. Why? Because it knows it's going to die. मैं मरने वाला हूं, मैं मरने वाली हूं. So I produce flowers so that pollination will take place. I produce fruits so that the animals will come and eat it, and now the seed will go to different places, and I will outlive death. So suddenly I'm talking botany, but I'm also talking philosophy, no? Botany and philosophy आ गया. Philosophy को हम ब्रह्म विद्या बोलते हैं. The study of जो निर्गुण है, study of hunger, study of insecurity, study of death, कि मैं मरने वाला हूं, मुझे अमर बनना है. I work with some of the richest and most powerful people in the world. Everyone is insecure. Everybody is nervous, everybody is frightened, and everybody knows they're going to die. The richest and most powerful person knows that the world will continue without them. They don't matter. जंगल का एक पेड़ जल गया, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है जंगल को. सबसे बड़ा पेड़ भी मर गया, किसी को नहीं पता. जैसे आपको नहीं पता किस पेड़ से आम आता है आपके घर में. You get mangoes in your house. Do you bother which tree has given you the mango? So every rich man knows when they die, nobody will remember them. And that horror, कोई नहीं याद करेगा मुझे. नहीं, sorry sir. But मैं बड़े बड़े मंदिर बना दूंगा, मूर्ति बना दूंगा, सब भूल जाते हैं. Where do you study this? You study this in literature. You read poetry like Ozymandias. All literature English students will talk about it. So why do I study literature? Because I get access to philosophy, Brahma Vidya. Why do I study mathematics? Because I want to control the measurable world. जो measurable world is there, I want to measure it. In order to measure it, I need mathematics. Non-measurable world के लिए मेरे पास language है. Measurable world के लिए मेरे पास mathematics है. प्रकृति को समझने के लिए मेरे पास गणित है. पुरुष को समझने के लिए मेरे पास भाषा है, लिटरेचर है, काव्य है, गद्य और पद्य है, प्रोज एंड पोएट्री है. So suddenly literature is important, mathematics is important. I want to study non-living things. Physics and chemistry is important. I want to study living organisms. I want to study hunger, food, insecurity. I want to study mortality. I want to study why animals form packs and herds. Why do they organize themselves as a beehive? Oh, so suddenly I have to study zoology, botany, microbiology. And then I study human psychology because I want to understand human imagination. How do I understand human imagination? As I study human beings, and I suddenly realize, oh my God, this ye bhi padhna padta hai. And that is all. This understanding of Nirguna, Brahma Vidya, Atma, Ahankar, this is the world of Brahma Vidya, which is the essence of Indian knowledge systems. Western models only focus on Sagun, that which is measurable. They do not focus on what is not measurable. Nobody teaches us how to manage jealousy. Nobody teaches us how to manage fear. Nobody teaches us how to handle pride, arrogance, spitefulness, cruelty. Which subject teaches you this? But these are life skills, no? ये है ब्रह्म विद्या. ये सीख जाओगे तो शांत हो जाओगे. You will know to manage insecure people. You will know to manage greedy people. You will know to manage stupid people, mean people, cruel people, bullies in the playground. You will be able to handle heartbreak. You will not need to go to therapy. You will not need to take drugs. You will not need to get into depression. You will not try to commit suicide. Because आत्मज्ञान है आपके पास. दुनिया ऐसा ही है बालक, ऐसा ही होता है. सबका दिल टूटता है. कृष्ण को भी राधा का त्याग करना पड़ा. तो काव्य के माध्यम से आई एम डीलिंग विथ लाइफ इश्यूज. Literature has become important, language has become important, poetry has become important, philosophy has become important, psychology has become important. All of these are non-measurable subjects. Measurement, Ganit is not important. Bhasha is important. Metaphor is important. Understanding what is metaphor, what is figure of speech, alankar, vyakaran. Because bhasha, it is only through this I get access to your insecurity. Otherwise, I don't get access to your insecurity. हथियार के लिए मेरे पास मैथमेटिक्स है ना, मेजरमेंट के लिए. ये मेजरमेंट वाली दुनिया है, इंजीनियरिंग वाली दुनिया है. इंजीनियर्स, ये है इंजीनियर्स. They can produce food, they don't know how to distribute food. Because nobody teaches the person to produce food कि सहानुभूति का मतलब क्या है, आत्मीयता का मतलब क्या है. Elon Musk cannot make an app that measures jealousy. I went to a software program where they said, Devdutt, we have to think big. I said, design a software which measures, regulates, and stops people from being jealous. And they started laughing. I said, why? Isn't that a problem? Isn't jealousy a problem? And they said, yeah, it is a problem. I said, then solve it. No, we can't solve it because वो निर्गुण है. इसको हम पढ़ते नहीं हैं. We have thrown it out of our syllabus and curriculum. This is Indian management system. This is India knowledge system. ये तो सबको चाहिए. Everybody needs food, clothing, shelter. Everybody needs economics. Everybody needs politics. Everybody needs this. But what we don't have in our society today is how to manage emotions. Now there is a great war going on. At this moment, there is a war going on where millions are being massacred in front of our eyes on live TV. और दोनों तरफ के लोग तर्क से डिस्क्राइब कर रहे हैं कि हिंसा तो करना पड़ेगा. One group is saying, I have to be violent because of justice. Another group is saying, I have to be violent because of self-defense. Debating society में ना दोनों को गोल्ड मेडल मिलेगा और दोनों each other को गोली मार देंगे. Operation successful, patient dead. Because they are all great engineering students, great lawyers. तर्क समझ में आ गया. Critical thinking experts. Absolutely no empathy. सहानुभूति, आत्मीयता, बड़प्पन, generosity, संतोष. कौन पढ़ाता है ये सब? Show me which part of the curriculum teaches us this. This is what Sanata Kumar is telling Narad. नारद, तुमने विज्ञान की दुनिया खोज ली, ज्ञान नहीं है. ज्ञान में हम निर्गुण वाली साइकोलॉजिकल वर्ल्ड में जाते हैं. We study hunger, not food. We study insecurity, not weapons. We study curiosity, not knowledge. We study the non-measurables, nirgun, nirakar. That is what we want to study. Because every human being is a bundle of insecurity, bundle of hunger. Of course, in management, we don't use the word hunger, we use the word ambition. I can't tell the rich man, sir, you are very hungry. I have to say, sir, you are very ambitious. What I really want to say is, sir, you are very greedy. But greedy word is not used in management. Huh? Billionaires are only ambitious. They are never greedy. है तो भूख ना, भक्षण, जिसको भोग चाहिए. भोग अलग अलग प्रकार का रूप लेता है. भोग अलग रूप लेता है. कभी प्राइवेट जेट होता है, कभी प्राइवेट यॉट होता है. I have sat in a private jet where a man told me, Devdutt, life is so unfair. And I said, sir, I agree with you. Because my invoice was on his table. Because जितना भी धन धान्य संपत्ति होगा तेरे पास, प्रकृति को तेरी कोई परवाह नहीं. This is called existential angst. You don't have to read Nietzsche for it. Brahma Vidya mein hai. This is what life is about. We teach our children to be engineers and doctors and teachers and lawyers. ये आमदनी के लिए, for food, for security, for status. ठीक है, that's important. But are they happy? Are they content? Are they comfortable? Are they resilient? Are they good children? अच्छे बच्चे हैं क्या? या successful बच्चे हैं? Parents are proud of successful children, not good children. And that is the tragedy. I have asked people repeatedly, पुरुषोत्तम का मतलब क्या है? This is a बड़ा आदमी. पुरुषोत्तम, उत्तम. I said, no, it means a nice person. अच्छा आदमी. पुरुषोत्तम का मतलब है अच्छा आदमी. अच्छा आदमी कौन होता है? जब उसके बगल में जाते हो आपको संतुष्ट, यू फील कंटेंट, यू आर इन संतोष, भूख नहीं लगती. उसके बगल में बैठते हो तो डर नहीं लगता, आपको सुरक्षित लगता है. जब उसके बगल में बैठते हो तो you feel, you learn so many things and you calm down, life becomes beautiful. रणभूमि नहीं होता, रंगभूमि होता है. Today our education has become about going to exams, going to tuitions, debate. So you go to class after class after class, tuition after tuition after tuition. You are giving exam after exam because it is a dog-eat-dog world. It is a rat race. It's a shark tank. और ये खत्म ही नहीं होता है. रिपोर्ट कार्ड्स कंटिन्यू इवन आफ्टर स्कूल. हम बच्चों को बोलते हैं ना, देख ये एग्जाम के बाद खत्म. एंड देन यू जॉब में अप्रेजल शुरू हो गया. प्रतियोगिता बंद नहीं होती, पूरी जिंदगी प्रतियोगिता बन जाती है. वी आर कॉन्स्टेंटली कंपीटिंग टू विन एन इमेजिनरी रेस. नेचर डजंट केयर. तू आम का पेड़ है, तू आम ही देगा, तरबूज नहीं देगा. You are an apple tree, you will give only apples. You will not give a jackfruit. Even if you come from a family of illustrious jackfruits. And your parents will be ashamed of you because you are an apple and not a jackfruit. And all your life you will feel miserable. Why did God make me an apple? Until Steve Jobs names his company after you. And then your market value will rise and the jackfruit will say, देखा मेरे घर में बेटा पैदा हुआ था apple. And that day you realize your parents don't see you, they see your success. They don't see you at all. And then you understand the Mahabharata. Duryodhan कौन है? Duryodhan's father is born blind. His mother has blindfolded herself. Father cannot see him. Mother refuses to see him for whatever reason. I'm sure she has a justified, rational reason. But the child says, मुझे कोई देख नहीं रहा है. और जब वो कृष्ण को जलील करता है अपने राजमहल में, पांडव कहते हैं कि इतना जलील कर रहा है सर आपको, आप तो भगवान हो. श्री कृष्ण कहते हैं कि देखो, उसका दर्शन करो. His father never saw him. His mother refuses to see him. I have two fathers. Vasudeva and Nanda both adore me. I have two mothers, Yashoda and Devaki, both adore me. I have 4 pairs of parents. 4 लोग मुझे देख रहे हैं, उसे कोई नहीं देख रहा है. चिल्लाने दो, बेचारा है, खलनायक नहीं है, बेचारा है. जो ब्रह्म विद्या जानता है वो खलनायक की बेबसी देखता है, दर्शन करता है. बट उसे समझने के लिए आपको महाभारत पढ़ना पड़ेगा, ब्रह्म विद्या जानना पड़ेगा. बस महाभारत इस पंचम वेद, वैदिक ज्ञान कहानी में है. Indian knowledge systems is about understanding hunger and food, the measurable and the non-measurable. This is what makes it special. The ability to understand human hunger, human insecurity, and human curiosity. What makes us human? This is the essence of the Veda. This is manifested in stories like Ramayana, Mahabharata. इन्हें पंचम वेद कहा गया है because stories के माध्यम से ये बातें समझ में आती है, फटाफट समझ में आता है. You understand it immediately, and that is the reason I told you the story of Krishna. I told you the story of Duryodhan, and कहानी के माध्यम से. So I am going to conclude by telling my favorite story. Again, a simple story, but it will explain you the same concept. कि हम जो measurable world की जो विज्ञान वाली दुनिया में बैठते हैं, ज्ञान वाली दुनिया का separation क्या है. And the story is told from the Ramayana. इस रामायण की बहुत ही प्रसिद्ध कथा है, लेकिन लोग इसका तत्व नहीं समझते. तत्व कैसे समझे? So this is the story. सीता का हरण हो चुका है, और जब हरण हो चुका है, so Sita has been abducted, and Ram has only information he has is कि दक्षिण की दिशा में किसी ने उनको लेके गए हैं. So he starts walking in the southern direction. He's followed by Lakshman, and they are both walking in the southern direction. हाथ में धनुष है, and they are not eating, not sleeping, and they are walking in the southern direction. They are covered with sweat. They're covered with sweat. They're covered with red-colored eyes. They're very angry looking. बहुत ही भयानक है उनका रूप. And then at that time, suddenly, when he's like this, very aggressive, one woman comes in front of them and says, "Stop. Sit down. Eat something." So eat what? So she gives some berries. She said, "If berries, eat this." She bites a berry and gives it to him, and Ram eats it. She bites the berry and she throws the second berry away. And the third berry, she bites it and gives it to Lakshman. And Lakshman recoils in disgust and says, "झूठा खिलाओगी? रघुकुल के राजकुमारों को झूठा खिलाओगी? तुम्हारे पास manners नहीं है." और वो भड़क जाता है, and the lady feels very bad and she apologizes. She says, "I'm so sorry." And Ram is observing this विवाद, ये गुस्सा का माहौल, ये नेगेटिव एनर्जी जो है between his brother Lakshman and Shabri, and he says, "Darshan karo, look. What are you seeing and what is happening? We are 2 men carrying weapons walking in the southern direction in this very aggressive way. Nobody will come in front of us. She has come in front of us. She's a very, very brave person. Why has she come in front of us? For our benefit or her benefit? For our benefit. She's a kind person. Why is she giving us those bitten berries? Because she wants to give us the sweetest berries. She's a good host. तो मुझे दिखता क्या है? I'm seeing a brave woman, I'm seeing a kind woman, I'm seeing a good host. What are you seeing? Everything is measurable. सगुण, झूठा दिख रहा है तुम्हें, झूठा. You are seeing a woman without manners. Which manners? Manners, you lived in the palace. दिखता नहीं है, she lives in the jungle, she doesn't live in the palace. तो तुम्हारे जो values हैं, वो palace के values हैं, जंगल के values नहीं हैं. जंगल में there is no concept of झूठा. सोच असोच की जो बातें हैं, purity and impurity, pollution की जो बातें हैं, that you are pure and impure, polluted and impolluted, first hand, second hand, ये संस्कृति की बातें हैं, प्रकृति की बातें नहीं हैं. तुम दर्शन नहीं कर रहे हो लक्ष्मण. You are focusing on the sagun, not the nirgun. ब्रह्म विद्या को छोड़ दिया है, विज्ञान को देख रहे हो, ज्ञान को नहीं देख रहे हो। उसके अंदर के जो दैट इनविजिबल थिंग यू आर नॉट नोटिसिंग, यू जस्ट हैव टू ऑब्जर्व। चूंकि तुम ब्रह्म विद्या नहीं जानते, तुम रहे लक्ष्मण और मैं बना राम। We want our children to be able to see good, kind people. We don't want our children to talk about jhuta. That is a social construct. This is a real divine construct. This is Brahma Vidya. And this is the secret of the Indian knowledge system. And I hope you are able to bring this to your lives. And if it is difficult, just read my books. Thank you. I think we have time for about 3-4 questions if you wish to ask. Yes, the lady over there, if someone can take the mic there, please. Is there a mic? Or you'll have to then just. Okay. Okay, so basically children don't want to study anything. Let's begin with that premise. Let's begin with that premise. पहला तो वो है. Because I always say, जब school bell rings, you start hearing children scream and shout. जैसे जानवरों की चित्कार आती है, वो zoo से निकल रहे हैं. Because of freedom मिल गया उनको, because उनको बांधा, like जानवरों के जैसे, पशु के जैसे ना, 9 से 10 बजे ये पढ़ोगे, and your brain is supposed to, अभी मैथ्स पढ़े, उसके बाद साइंस पढ़ोगे, उसके बाद ये करोगे. It is a brutal system. Let's accept that. We have gone through it, we all have gone through it, and we know how we hated it, how much of a nostalgically we'll say school में कितना अच्छा था, because then life becomes worse. So naturally, school looks beautiful and wonderful. No, it is not wonderful. But, so keeping that in mind, the moment you say it, I'm teaching you because it is Indian knowledge management system, it is coming from, please sit down, but it's coming from chauvinism. Don't come from chauvinism. This is cultural chauvinism which is very evident. ये subject बहुत ही अच्छा है. यहाँ पे घमंड लाने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं कि ये मेरे देश से आया है. Doesn't make a difference. कहाँ से आया है, ये अच्छा है, आपकी ज़िंदगी सुधर जाएगी. The point is, every human being you meet is insecure, is ambitious, and is ignorant. 3 things. How to remember this? Lakshmi, Durga, Saraswati. LSD. है? जो भूख लगता है तो मुझे लक्ष्मी चाहिए, इनसिक्योर लगता है तो मुझे दुर्गा चाहिए, और आई एम इग्नोरेंट यानी कि तुम्हें सरस्वती चाहिए, बट तुम नहीं जाओगे उसकी तरफ. She frightens us. She frightens us so much that you put the Saraswati statue in the library and next to it say silent please, forgetting कि उनके हाथ में वीणा है. Which is the most funny thing which I've seen. So the thing is, the child is insecure. So you have to produce knowledge which helps them cope with their insecurity, which will help them cope with their fears, their anxieties. Everybody's insecure. The moment you do that, you have got into Brahma Vidya. आप घूम फिर के ब्रह्म विद्या में ही आओगे. I mean, there are many other parts of Indian knowledge system which I, in this 1 hour lecture, I can, इतने पैसे में इतना ही मिलेगा. So, but I should have said, इतने समय में इतना ही मिलेगा, then I would have, but such निकल आई. No, but that's the point. If you focus on the child's insecurity, hunger, and ignorance, because children are ignorant, and this doesn't change, you will get into the space. Because you'd make them ask questions. For example, as I said, when I look at the plant, we teach botany, but we don't teach the insecurity of the plant. तो मैं बच्चे की insecurity के बारे में नहीं बात कर रहा हूँ, but बच्चा समझ जाता है. तुम्हारे में भी कांटे हैं, मुहावरा समझ जाता है. द इंग्लिश टीचर डजंट हैव टू एक्सप्लेन मेटाफॉर एनी मोर, बिकॉज सबको पता चलता है कि देखो उसकी में बहुत कांटे हैं, इसमें बहुत फूल दे रहा है, कुछ चाहता है मुझसे. बिकॉज वॉट डज द फ्लावर डू? इट अट्रैक्ट्स यू टू गेट पॉलिनेटेड. So suddenly मुहावरा समझ में आता है. So I think we should just focus on their core issues, psychological issues, and automatically Indian thought will come in. Because आपको stories बोलने पड़ेंगे, शबरी की story बोल दी आपने, रामायण की, then suddenly say, oh, there must be more. Then he starts going. Now curiosity has arisen. And once curiosity happens, the rest is easy. Yeah? Ji, so, the gentleman here. I think you should. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. So imagine if we had got these classes, maybe we would have selected a better partner. But let's not go there. अभी वो कड़वा सच के साथ जीना पड़ता है. But दुनिया बदल रही है. They are not, whether you like it or not, every child has got exposed to something called social media. You may not give sex education. The child has done PhD. And I literally am saying child, because at what age they are seeing things, God alone knows. And it's a little scary because what they are being exposed to. Because the mind will automatically go towards things which are not good for you. Mind loves these easy, low-hanging fruits. By introducing a topic like dating, you are at least got some way of regulating. At the very least, कि भैया date में जा रहे हो, respect the person, no? You are going on a date with a boy or a girl, it doesn't matter. Respect that person. It's an opportunity to teach people about gender, consent, respect. Consent सिखाना है तो रामायण पढ़ा दो कि देखो रावण doesn't respect consent. Surpanakha doesn't respect consent. Was there consent? Let's discuss. Take sides. Let's take the role of Surpanakha, do the role of Ravan, do the role of Sita, do the role of Ram. Let's do a case study. Let's try to understand. संवाद करते हैं. Consent था कि नहीं था. Now they have understood consent. They go on a date. They know at least some कि respect कैसे करते हैं लोगों को. समय पे जाओ. Dress up properly. Split the bill. Split the bill. Don't be cheap. Because it is a chance for a girl to also assert herself that I don't need you to pay my bill. Now automatically gender relations sab aa gaya usme without being so about it. So I think somebody's thought about it and we have to make the best out of it. Our own embarrassment comes in because we didn't grow up in these ecosystems. We never had this. हम पढ़ते थे स्वयंवर के बारे में. But whenever you tell पिताजी मेरी स्वयंवर कब होगी, चुप बैठो, ये कलयुग है. We will decide. And that's what happens. So, just get good marks in exam और फिर dowry market में तुझे बेच दूंगा. So that is the world we came from. And now the world is changing. So I think it's a great opportunity. Try to make the best out of it and then figure out how to do it. So, yeah. Maybe 2 more questions, and ma'am, you have to look at the time. Good. That's a good question. So I think what happens is now, when you sell it like Indian knowledge systems, now it sounds again, it's very chauvinistic. And what we are really explaining is really the secret of Indian knowledge system is psychology, human psychology, human relationships. Because वो पढ़ाते नहीं हैं schools and colleges में. Relationships. That is the secret of Brahma Vidya. I'm giving you a very shorthand. The shorthand of Indian philosophy is relationships. Now, I don't want to expand on it, but how do you get your parents involved is you need to do workshops and tell them it is not just selling India. We feel there is a gap in the curriculum. And this gap, we believe, is very well managed by certain things which are existing in our culture, the stories, and then give them these examples. How do I teach your child to cope with jealousy? How do I teach your child? Because that is important to succeed in life. That if they how do they handle stress? They use the word stress, but really they're talking about insecurity. They're talking about ambition. They're talking about failure. They're talking about rivalry. They don't have friends. They only have rivals. They don't have friends. They have rivals with whom they're competing all the time. And they have to get better marks than everybody else. So the life is very different. So thoda philosophy laane se kya hota hai? You sort of ground them. And the Indian knowledge system has to be, that is what Indian knowledge system really brings to the table. गणित तो सब जगह है, geometry तो सब जगह है, उसमें क्या बड़ी बात है? The Indians knew how to do this, Indians knew this. Yeah, very good. वो सगुण वाली दुनिया है. What does Sanat Kumar tell नारद कि भैया ब्रह्म विद्या नहीं है तो बाकी सब useless. And as I said, Chandogya Upanishad, please do a Google search on it. Not my thoughts. This is not Devdutt Patnaik speaking. This is people speaking 2,600 years ago. So I think take the help of Chandogya Upanishad. People in India trust Indian traditions. They just get irritated by the drama and the tackiness. But we trust our culture. There is something about our culture, but we just don't know how to articulate it in a refined, modern way. And if they're very, very confused, just tell them to read my books. 199 rupees, that's all. Thank you. One more? Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes. So, so that's the interesting thing. The unique thing about Indian thought, and this you have to trust me on my scholarship. The unique thing about Indian thought is they are obsessed with the mind. When they use words like Brahma, Vidya, Atma, they really mean psychology. They don't teach you psychology in school. And by psychology, they talk about psychology they don't talk about jealousy. Please go through a single curriculum in Harvard and show me a course on jealousy. Show me. I've seen their famous happiness course, and the whole happiness course does not talk about jealousy. अब से किस दुनिया में रहते हो आप? You don't talk about something which is real. Families have been ruined, relationships have been ruined, wars have been fought because of jealousy. But आप बात भी नहीं कर रहे हो उसके बारे में. What are you talking about? What can you measure in life? Calorie counting, managing weight, because these are measurables. So they do not talk about the mind. Manovigyan, and not Freud. These stories. So what is the great Indian thought? I'll give you one example. When you say Western thought, what do you mean? These are cultures which believe life begins on a day and ends on a day. And they speak of happily ever after. So let me give you an example of stories, the most successful stories which come from the West. Harry Potter ends with good witches fighting bad witches in a great war. So you have told children that war is necessary for goodness. Lord of the Rings, hobbits and elves fight orcs in a great war. Every Marvel movie is a war between superheroes and supervillains. Every book, Dune, which is going to be released, is a book about revolution and war. All stories talk about war. कि war के बिना justice नहीं होगा. This is not universal idea. This is Western idea. It comes from the belief of apocalypse. One day the demons and the angels will fight and truth will prevail. It never, but Indians will say, कुछ नहीं होता है. Because we believe in rebirth. हर युद्ध के बाद दूसरा युद्ध आता है, फिर दूसरा युद्ध आता है, फिर दूसरा युद्ध, ये खत्म नहीं होता है. It goes on and on. You came into the world of war, you will leave the world without war. So when you read the Ramayana, there is a war in Ramayana, but at the end of it, what happens? Ram kills Sugriv. Sorry, kills Vali. Vali's wife curses him. My husband was a bad man, but he was my husband. You will never have a happy married life. He kills Ravan. Good, na? Dharmasthapana. Ravan's wife Mandodari curses Sita. Just as I have not had a happy marriage. My husband was not a good man, but he was my husband. You will never have a happy married life. Which means when you do good deeds also, there are bad consequences. You don't hear this in Western stories. You do not hear this. Karma is not a concept. Consequences are not a concept. There's a beginning and there's an end and there's happily ever after or a great tragedy. या तो अच्छा या बुरा. But it is not sanatan, cyclical. हर युग में ये होता रहेगा, सो टेंशन मत लो. तुम्हारे बच्चे भी तुम्हारे जैसे मूर्ख रहेंगे. सो शांति शांति शांति. ट्राई योर बेस्ट. जैक फ्रूट हो, एप्पल हो, गुआवा हो, बेर हो, लसन हो, जो भी हो, उसका मसाला बना देना. Very Indian approach. Chinese approach is another world. But for that, you have to call me for another lecture. Thank you. Thank you so much.
धन्यवाद. आपके आशीर्वचनों का बहुत बहुत आभार. वास्तव में इन सभी ज्ञान प्रणालियों का क्रियान्वयन हमारे युवाओं के सर्वांगीण विकास की अनिवार्यता तथा आधारशिला हैं. यह मात्र प्रणालियां ही नहीं अपितु संपूर्ण जीवन दर्शन की रूपरेखा भी हैं.
In the words of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, great dreams of great dreamers are always transcended. Without our robust Indian knowledge systems in place, today's learners are daring not just to dream, but to dream big. They are making a dedicated effort to sculpt reality out of their dreams.
आज हमारा समग्र बाल भारती परिवार शैक्षणिक गुणवत्ता के क्षेत्र में जिन नए मानदंडों को स्थापित कर रहा है, उनसे प्रेरित होकर हमारे युवा निरंतर नए ज्ञान का अर्जन भी कर रहे हैं. परिश्रम और योग्यता, इनसे शायद सफलता तो प्राप्त की जा सकती है, परंतु अभीष्ट लक्ष्य की प्राप्ति के लिए आज आवश्यकता है हमारे इन युवाओं को उम्मीदों के पंख देने के साथ साथ दृढ़ संकल्पी बनाने की, ताकि वे आसमान की बुलंदियों को छू सकें. मंजिलें बड़ी ज़िद्दी होती हैं, हासिल ज़रा नसीब से होती हैं, मगर वहाँ तूफ़ान भी हार जाते हैं जहाँ कश्तियाँ भी अपनी ज़िद पर होती हैं. इसी स्वर को मुखर कर रही है विभिन्न बाल भारती विद्यालयों के छात्रों की संगीतमय प्रस्तुति छूना है अब हमें आसमान. तो आइए सभी साथ मिलकर इस संगीत माधुरी का हिस्सा बने.
तय करो किस ओर हो तुम, तय करो किस ओर हो तुम, डूबती सांसों का जखीरा या आत्मबोध की होर हो तुम, तय करो। अपने को अपने से छिपा और मातृभूमि का तिलक लगा, बचपन की घुट्टी में पिलाए हर डर का तोड़ हो तुम, तय करो किस ओर हो तुम, तय करो किस ओर, तय करो किस ओर हो तुम, तय करो किस ओर हो तुम, डूबती सांसों का जखीरा या आत्मबोध की होर हो तुम, तय करो। अपने को अपने से छिपा और मातृभूमि का तिलक लगा, बचपन की घुट्टी में पिलाए हर डर का तोड़ हो तुम, तय करो किस ओर हो तुम, तय करो किस ओर हो तुम, तय करो किस ओर हो तुम।
छोटे से इरादे ले मंजिलों की राहों पे ख्वाबों को लेके चलना है इस तरह। होठों पे तराने हैं हौसले दिखाने हैं फिर ना मिलेगा जो पल अब है मिला। चुना है अब हमें आसमां चुना है हमें आसमां चुना है अब हमें आसमां चुना है हमें आसमां I will hear their every story, take hold of my own dream, be as strong as the seas are stormy, and proud as an eagle's scream. I will rise, I will fly, chase the wind and touch the sky. I will fly high. दिल में दबी थी जो ख्वाहिशें अपने उड़ने के मिले रातें, रोकेगा क्या हमें अब कोई जब हुनर सांसों से ख्वाब को हवा दे। दिल में दबी थी जो ख्वाहिशें अपने उड़ने के मिले रातें, रोकेगा क्या हमें अब कोई जब हुनर सांसों से ख्वाब को हवा दे। दिल नया छूना है अब हमें आसमां 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 छूना है हमें आसमां 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 छूना है अब हमें ride up the flight is the wind of the sky high flight is the wind and touch the sky high flight is the wind of the sky high flight is the wind and touch the sky high flight is the wind of the sky high flight is the wind and touch the
It was indeed a beautiful rendition by the young singers of all Bal Bharti units. Chuna hai hame asama. The perfection in their notes shows their dedication, confirming their victory in life. The Child Education Society, the parent body of all Bal Bharti public schools, standing true to its motto, "Give us the wisdom and the ability to comprehend," has played a pivotal role in providing concrete and robust avenues to all its students and teachers. The last 79 years have been extraordinary, with the Child Education Society seamlessly adapting to changes in education, creating global platforms, and reinventing pedagogy.
सागर क्या है? तरण शक्ति की मात्र एक कसौटी है। पर्वत की ऊंचाई भी तो साहस से बहुत छोटी है। देख रास्ता कठिन सफ़र में मंजिलें कहाँ सोती हैं। तेरे संकल्पों की लौ ही तेरी जीवन ज्योति है, तेरी जीवन ज्योति है।
Dear guests, As we move forward towards formal felicitations, we would be shortly having a look at the noteworthy achievements of the Child Education Society and all Bal Bharti units. The audience present would have a look at the CES documentary, A Spectacular Watch, in the moments to come. So, ladies and gentlemen, in a minute to come, we would be watching the CES documentary.
This is where it all started. 15 glorious years spent here have made me what I am today. This place has groomed me, in fact, has prepared me for life.
The motto of this school is Hanso Nayatu Na Pragyam, which means, O Swan, lead us to knowledge. It is depicted in our school emblem that shows a child astride a soaring swan, constantly rising above new horizons of learning and excellence. The school aims to enable all Bal Bhartiyans to soar beyond their capabilities.
The Child Education Society comes with a proud legacy of over 75 years and currently runs a network of 26 quality institutions. We aim to develop future-ready, happy, socially aware and compassionate students who contribute positively towards the community. The National Education Policy emphasizes the need for schools to remodel infrastructure and enhance staff skills. In sync with this, we have invested in creating world-class infrastructure in our schools with technology integration across teaching, administration, skill development, and outreach to take education to the remote corners of the country. We have developed best practices and robust systems of quality education that support smooth operations and also enable us to launch new initiatives expeditiously.
At Bal Bharti, we combine a progressive new age outlook with an ethos on the rich Indian cultural values and heritage. Along with working towards development of intellectual and emotional skills of our children, we also create opportunities for each one of them to develop their innate abilities and skills. So it's a 360-degree education in its true sense.
You know why I love Bal Bharti? Because here we thrive in an atmosphere of encouragement and affirmation. We are taught to put in our very best in whatever we do, be it studies or co-curricular activities. We have a huge number of those too. Sports, martial arts, activity clubs, quiz, and many more. Through various international activities and exchanges, we are taught to value diverse cultures and develop a global perspective.
My name is Janvi Gulati, a national level athlete, a gold medalist in the high jump, and a silver medal holder in the long jump under 18 category.
I would like to give a significant share of credit to Bal Bharti Public School for providing me with the best facilities and infrastructure. I would like to thank my principal sir, who has been a source of unstinting support. In order to accommodate the schedule of my sports events, he allowed me to appear for retests, and sanctioning fee concessions has been his way of encouraging me to excel further. My dream is not just mine, it is shared by all at Bal Bharti.
When COVID made the world go into a lockdown, we, the teachers, were extremely worried about the disruptive impact it could have on the educational continuity of our students. We were already trained with the use of online tools, which helped us in more than one way. And at a time of big layoffs, not even a single staff member was asked to leave. It makes us proud and we feel blessed to be part of such an institution.
मेरा बेटा मयंक बाल भारती स्कूल पीतमपुरा में पढ़ता है। यहाँ पर पढ़ाई, खेलकूद, संगीत सब कुछ अच्छे से सिखाया जाता है। गरीब परिवार से आने की वजह से हम थोड़ा परेशान रहते थे कि मेरा बच्चा इन बच्चों में कैसे एडजस्ट कर पाएगा, लेकिन स्कूल ने हमारी सहायता की और मैडम ने प्रोत्साहन दिया मेरे बेटे को, तब मेरा बेटा यहाँ पर एडजस्ट कर पाया। कोविड के समय में स्कूल ने हमारा साथ दिया और हमारे को एक स्मार्टफोन दिया, जिसकी वजह से उसने ऑनलाइन क्लासेस मिस नहीं हुई और उसका सिलेबस भी मिस नहीं हुआ।
The school celebrates inclusion, acceptance, and diversity. Here, children are taught to empathize with others, not just within the school, but with community as well.
Child Education Society is committed to empowering its teachers with skills that enhance their teaching competencies. Continuous upskilling of our teachers in the technology tools enable the school to move to virtual teaching instantly during the early days of COVID pandemic, when most other schools were struggling. In addition, to focus on achieving excellence in different dimensions of school education, we have set up a number of special task forces on human resources, digitalization, school development, teacher training, branding, social media management, and so much more. It is these initiatives that have made Bal Bharti schools amongst the best in the country.
When my daughter went for a trip to the Children's Activity Center at Solan, around that time, political protests and rioting started erupting on the highways in Haryana. I was extremely reassured by the way the school handled the situation, kept us informed, and brought back all the students safely by air. It made us feel that our children are in loving and caring hands.
What a splendid journey indeed. Albert Einstein said, and I quote, "We owe a lot to the ancient Indians, teaching us how to count, without which most modern scientific discoveries would have been impossible. Indians have been traveling and enlightening the world from times immemorial, and so are the Bal Bhartiyans. It is a moment of pride for the Child Education Society as we commence with the award ceremony felicitating the stalwarts of various Bal Bharti units who have made their mark and done their institutions proud with their remarkable body of work. Today's awards are divided into two categories: the Bal Bharti Icon Alumni Award and the Bal Bharti Achiever Alumni Award. We start with the first category of awards, the Bal Bharti Icon Alumni Award. This award reckons the commitment and dedication of all the alumni who have made an impeccable mark for themselves and are now contributing to the development of society. These are the icons who have transitioned from being seekers to becoming providers. To start with the first category of awards, the Bal Bharti Icon Alumni Award, I would like to invite on stage Mr. Nikhil Channa, President, Child Education Society, Mr. L.V. Sehgal, Joint Secretary, Child Education Society, and Ms. Meenu Goswami, Chairman, School Advisory Council, and Principal, Bal Bharti, Pitampura, to honor our illustrious alumni. May I now call upon stage our first awardee, Mr. Vipin Vohra, to receive the honors. Mr. Vipin Vohra, an alumnus of the 1972 batch of Bal Bharti Public School, GRH Marg, is the distinguished chairman of the Continental Carriers Group of Companies, exemplifying excellence in the freight forwarding industry. A graduate from Sri Ram College of Commerce, he seamlessly transitioned into the family business founded by his visionary father, the late Mr. T.N. Vohra. Mr. Vipin Vohra's commitment to environmental responsibility and sustainable practices is evident in his establishment of the first greenfield air freight station in Delhi, aligning with the Ministry of Civil Aviation policies in 2014. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Vohra receiving his honors. We are proud of his contribution to the country. It is time now to honor our next awardee. May I have on stage Mr. Rajesh Mehra. Mr. Mehra, an alumnus of the 1975 batch of Bal Bharti Public School, Gangaram Marg, is a graduate from the prestigious Hindu College. He has been associated with the Jacquard Group as director and promoter since 1978. A winner of the prestigious E&Y Entrepreneur of the Year Award, he has been instrumental in growing the brand to its current stature as one of the fastest growing bath brands in the world, with a presence in over 63 countries across Europe, the Middle East, Asia Pacific, and Africa. May we hear it for Mr. Rajesh Mehra as he receives his honors. Please put your hands together for the next achiever of the evening. I'm delighted to invite on stage Mr. Neeraj Dhawan. Mr. Neeraj Dhawan, CEO and Director of Mega Grain Trading Company Private Limited, proudly traces his roots to Bal Bharti Public School, Gangaram Marg, being an alumnus of the 1986 batch. With a rich background, he spearheads an export house and a global B2B smart platform, fostering connections between buyers and sellers. Mr. Neeraj attributes his success to the values of excellence and integrity instilled during his time at Bal Bharti, shaping his career trajectory. Mr. Neeraj Dhawan receiving his honors. Many congratulations, sir. I now request Mr. Mukul Agarwal to step upon stage to receive his honors. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mukul Agarwal is an alumnus of the 1996 batch of Bal Bharti Public School, Pitampura. Mr. Agarwal is the managing partner of J. Mandal and Company, LLP. A chartered accountant by profession, he is a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. He is also a member of the International Institute of Certified Forensic Investigation Professionals. Mr. Mukul Agarwal was awarded the MSME Excellence Award from the Government of India for his contribution in forensic and fraud investigation. Let us hear it for Mr. Mukul Agarwal as he receives his honors. Congratulations to all the recipients of the Bal Bharti Icon Alumni Award. Now we begin with the second category of awards, the Bal Bharti Achiever Alumni Award. This category of awards felicitates the young and dynamic achievers who have showcased excellence in varied professional fields and have done their alma mater proud. To receive her honors, may I request Ms. Ayushi Gudwani to step up on stage. Ms. Gudwani, an alumnus of batch 2002 Bal Bharti Pitampura, is the founder and CEO of the Fable Street Life, a premium corporate western wear company. She was the recipient of the President's Gold Medal Award for being an outstanding alumnus of Bal Bharti Pitampura. Ms. Ayushi holds an electronics engineering degree from NSIT with department rank 2 and university rank 6. She has completed her MBA from IIM Calcutta, IIMC silver medalist rank 2. Ms. Gudwani receiving her honors. We congratulate you, ma'am. CES and Bal Bharti is proud of Ms. Ayushi Gudwani. Our next alumnus is Ms. Tavishi Behal Pandey. May I invite her on stage to receive her honors. Ms. Pandey, an alumnus of batch 2004 of Bal Bharti Public School, Noida, joined the Indian Foreign Services in year 2011. She completed her bachelor's of Engineering in Computer Science from Netaji Subhash Institute of Technology, University of Delhi, and a master's degree in psychology from IGNOU. Ms. Tavishi was posted to the Embassy of India, Lisbon from 2013 to 2016. Following that, she was posted as Under Secretary Myanmar in Ministry of External Affairs from 2016 to 2018. Please put your hands together for Ms. Pandey as she receives her honors. Many congratulations, Ms. Pandey. May I now invite on stage Mr. Aman Mittal to receive his honors. Mr. Aman Mittal, an alumnus of 2006 batch from Bal Bharti Public School, Rohini, completed his bachelor's from the prestigious NSIT Delhi in 2010 and joined as a business consultant at Deloitte Consulting, Hyderabad. Thereafter, he founded a successful startup, Emerging Packaging Solutions. He cleared UPSC Civil Services exam in 2015 with rank 231 and chose the Indian Revenue Services and joined the batch of 2016. He was posted as the Assistant Commissioner of GST Delhi. He went on deputation in the Department of Revenue as officer on special duty in GST Policy Wing of the Ministry of Finance. Ladies and gentlemen, during 6 years of government service, Mr. Mittal has received 3 certificates of appreciation for important contributions towards public service. We are proud to have Mr. Aman Mittal amidst us today. Many congratulations. Our next awardee of the evening is Mr. Tanveer Singh. May I request Mr. Singh to step upon stage to receive his honors. Tanveer Singh, an alumnus of batch 2006 Bal Bharti Pitampura, is the co-founder of the Moving Energy Network. He was the recipient of President's Gold Medal Award for being the outstanding alumnus of Bal Bharti Pitampura. He had a successful exit from his first startup, Solar Cube, in the renewable sector to Amplus Solar. As part of the founding team member of Amplus Solar, they raised $150 million in funding. His current startup, Moving, was founded in the year 2020, which has over 5,000 electric vehicles on its platform and is present in over 25 cities. He has raised $15 million in equity and debt to fund Moving till date. Many congratulations to Mr. Tanveer Singh on receiving his honors. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome our next awardee on stage, Mr. Ishan Chabra. Ishan Chabra, an alumnus of batch 2007 Bal Bharti Public School Pitampura, is a composer and music producer. He was the recipient of the President's Gold Medal Award for being an outstanding alumnus at Bal Bharti Pitampura. He is a graduate in electronic music production and sound design from Berklee College of Music. His work ranges from feature films and documentaries to branded commercials. His first feature film as composer, Children of War 2014, released to critical success. In 2016, Ishan composed for the movie Vidya Singh, Born to Run, which went on to receive the National Award for Best Children's Film. Ishan also frequently works with Academy Award-winning composer A.R. Rahman as music producer. We are proud of you, Ishan, and congratulations on receiving your honors. Heartiest congratulations to the awardees of the evening. This brings us to the end of the awards ceremony. May I request the dignitaries to take their seats. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a day of reverence and rewards. As this ceremony proceeds towards culmination, I would once again request Mr. L.V. Sehgal, Joint Secretary, Child Education Society, to kindly propose his vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. Dear ladies and gentlemen, it is both an honor and a privilege for me to propose the vote of thanks for the immeasurably remarkable program that we all witnessed today. On the momentous occasion of the second edition of Vidya Utsav, the annual event of Child Education Society. Notably, the theme of the program, Celebrating and Imbibing Indian Knowledge Systems, resonates with the ethos of Child Education Society, an 80-year-old iconic educational organization, which while continuing to innovate and evolve in consonance with paradigm shift in global eduspheres, is known to perpetuate the nation's rich cultural legacy in all its institutions across the country. It's often been said that education is life, and to me, today's program is a celebration of education and akin to all celebrations, an affirmation of life. Truly, the profound wisdom in Indian philosophy and knowledge systems has the vast potential to provide us with keen insights into our existence, thereby helping us to lead meaningful lives in sync with the macrocosm. For enriching our minds with these useful perceptions, I had foremost like to thank our esteemed keynote speaker, the worldwide renowned mythologist, writer, speaker, and illustrator, Devdutt Patnaik, who has very lucidly encapsulated today's theme in his eloquent address. Our heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Patnaik. We cherish the insight gained today and look forward to incorporating the same in our educational institutions. For the initiative to make this transformative and inspiring evening possible, I had like to express my deep appreciation to the keen visionary, the distinguished President of Child Education Society, Mr. Nikhil Channa. Thank you so much, sir, for providing us this wonderful opportunity. It is an occasion wherein all Bal Bharati schools get the chance to come together and celebrate our cause and triumphs as one entity. Simultaneously, listening to enlightened speakers such as Devdutt Patnaik enables us to enhance the significance of our educational endeavors so as to raise aware and enlightened future generations. My sincere gratitude is also due to the members of Board of Management of Child Education Society for their unyielding commitment to excellence, as well as to the members of managing committees of all Bal Bharati schools for their zealous contributions. Further, I'd like to express my thanks to the principals of all Bal Bharati schools for their stellar leadership that has consistently led the Child Education Society to fulfill its mission. The principals of NCR Bal Bharati Public Schools deserve a special mention for playing a key role in the immaculate organization of this event today evening. Thank you so much, all the team members. It was indeed a pleasure to witness the felicitation of our distinguished alumni who have not only excelled in their respective fields, but have also upheld the values instilled in them during their formative years at Bal Bharati Public Schools. Thank you for being who you are and bringing glory to your alma mater. Thank you for being here, each one of you. My heartfelt gratitude is also due to each participant of the brilliant art exhibition, I hope you saw it outside, and the mesmerizing cultural program. These creative endeavors appropriately showcased the remarkable cultural diversity and artistic talent that defines our schools and our students. Their contributions have added vibrancy to this celebration, making it a truly memorable event. Furthermore, I had like to express my sincere appreciation to all the staff members of Bal Bharati Public Schools. The unconditional, steadfast support of you all is the backbone of our institutions and undoubtedly instrumental in the success of each program organized by Child Education Society. Thank you so much, all the team members. Last but not the least, our earnest gratefulness is also due to the management of the Kamani Auditorium as well as to the esteemed audience, which includes members of the parent-teacher associations, alumni associations, the press, the parents, students, and all the well-wishers. You have been the pillars of strength and encouragement for our institution. Your presence today signifies a shared commitment to nurturing the young minds that will shape the future. To conclude, being mindful of the words of Revered Devdutt Patnaik as expressed in his literary composition, My Gita, I quote, "Knowledge acquired in the past plays a role in the wisdom of future lives," unquote, would help us to carry forward the spirit of today's theme and instill in our students a love for learning and deep appreciation for the rich cultural heritage. And thus, the saga of Child Education Society shall continue to flourish forever on the path of excellence. My sincere thanks once again to everyone for sparing your valuable time to be here with us today. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. We look forward to see you again next year on the 3rd Vidya Utsav. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. The Vidya Utsav promises to enlighten and award the milestones achieved by the luminous alumni for years to come.
कामयाबी उनको मिलती है जिनमें जुनून होता है, मंजिल से पहले ना उनको सुकून होता है, रास्ते कितने भी कठिन हों हम डगमगाते नहीं हैं, हौसले बुलंद हो जिनसे हम काम कर दिखाते वही हैं.
As we bid each other goodbye and meet again the next year, I would request all present to stand in attention for the national anthem. Thank you all for being a part of this illustrious ceremony. May I request all the VIPs to kindly proceed for high tea in the VIP enclosure. See you all the next year.